you never know when a platform is going to drop, regardless of how long it's going to be on there. And the reason why I'm going into this nature is because I'll just say straight up, a lot of my brothers, like my military brothers, my club brothers, like we like to like literally go into these holes and diving into like conversations that probably no one should listen to, but but we went this like rant about when's the next war going to happen, because we're officially the military is in peacetime. So we went into this like, okay, it's inevitable. Human history says it. There's going to be conflict, and we're currently in conflict right now, not as a nation, but that's out there with Ukraine and Russia. So we're watching this unfold to see how what our input is with sanctions and business, how that's really affecting Russia. You can see it with, if you want to bring it back to Lego, there's no more Lego in Russia. They stop selling over there, and you would never thought that a company like that would excommunicate with them, but that could be on the government in itself. But with TikTok is not owned by anyone in the EU or NATO or within the United States. It's owned by, what was it? ByteDance. So they're a Chinese company, parent company, which is also tied, which Chinese companies are tied, their businesses are tied to the government, as opposed to where the Western countries are not. They're kind of free forming. And we kind of got in this conversation because one of the biggest tech companies, telecom companies, which was doing an FBI investigation, like in Nebraska and Colorado, own that, in like their tech is all over that place. And guess where all of our ICBMs are? Within that red area. So our nukes are now compromised by Chinese telecom, and no one thinks about that type of stuff. So like that's kind of a scary thought. And in social media in itself, like I mentioned before this, someone within the Chinese military community leaked top secret information on War Thunder, which is a game on social media, and the Pentagon got a hold of that. And both governments, both Chinese and United States, go through social media like a lot. I mean, they're looking for other things like future incidents that may happen within the world, but occasionally they'll run something like this and they'll go into the military. Vice versa, same thing with China. So with a company like this, I'm just throwing this out there, and with a company like this who we don't know where we're gonna be with them in the next 50 years, because they said straight up they already said it, by 2050 where Taiwan is gonna be ours. And now it's like feeling a little bit quicker than that, and we're kind of watching how the United States deals with Ukraine, and they're watching to see how sanctions going. So they're really getting their footholds everywhere. They're playing chess. We're playing checkers. That's literally what they're doing. And with TikTok, and the reason how this relates to the conversation is that if this were to happen, let's say Taiwan happens tomorrow, we have a lot of friends that rely on social media platforms like TikTok. What happens to that? Because they can literally shut it off in like a second, and then you lose your base.
So I don't understand it completely, but I'm just going to put that out there. So I'm not super educated on the subject, so I can't talk super in depth on it. But what I do know is that the US version of TikTok has a different set of controls, I think, from what I understand, than the parent company has. Of course, it's the parent company. Of course, they could, I guess, have a different oversight on it. But from what I understand as well, ByteDance as an app, or the way the Chinese version of TikTok operates, is extremely different to the way that our version operates. It's definitely more intuitive. And you probably know this as well, or you've probably all heard of this. They have a version where the American side of it is dancing and entertainment and comedy, but their version is suppressed to only have the academic kind of entrepreneurial qualities of what the Chinese government wants its people to pursue. So yeah. So that is very telling about culture. Right. So honestly, I started TikTok in the time where we had a president who said, I'm going to shut it down, and then I'm not going to shut it down, and all of this kind of mixed feelings around it. But now I'm kind of used to the fact that it could go away instantly.
Mhm.
And that's why at this point I'm trying to then move over to other platforms just in case something could ever happen. Because I mean, let's say Taiwan happened tomorrow, like you said, I think there would be a lot more things to worry about than just TikTok's gone.